Hey y'all, Josh Greathouse here. So with this channel, it's kind of become like a hodgepodge of books I want to talk about, maybe stuff I'm working on, kind of promote, like my book, Bang Ballad of the Tiger. Got three of these, a lot of fun. Recommend it. Kung Fu fantasy, and it's something I'm really enjoying, and it's like I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Working on chapter 24 as we speak. But what? So like I said, well, it's a lot of like showing off other people's works or my current work. But then there's something kind of in between. And I think today would be kind of fun to do that in between. Let's look at my first published book, or self published book. Today we're looking at Servant Daunt, which, if memory serves right, that's Swedish for Black Death or Norwegian for Black Death. I know it's Black Death, I forget which language, but yeah. Let's take a look at my first. Oh, this is going to be painful. So, I believe this was like 4 or 5 issues. This is a story I had an idea for, and we'll see the back of it. And what's interesting too, it's like looking at the spine design, a lot of motifs haven't changed. It's funny how certain things change and certain things don't. This was print on demand through Lulu printing, and man, like I'm actually surprised how well it's held up over the years. So let's take a look. So back in Yield Day, my company was called InkSpot. Love my last name, Great House. I never liked the whole like, oh, you should do Great House printing, blah blah blah. Still friends with him. Haven't talked to him forever. Oh man, Foster, my old mythology teacher. I haven't thought of him forever. Cafe Press Ink Spot. Yeah, I don't think that's up anymore. I will double check it, but yeah, this is how old and bad I was. I didn't even do a full bleed. Oh, speaking of which, does anyone notice a problem with this cover? Oh, come on. Come on. You can kind of see it. I forgot to take off the blue line. So no joke. Like, yeah, it's Ooh, well, we're into some rough territory here. So this is Odin with the realms. I think it was a kind of cool way to show this off. Our hero bleeding. I did this like high school, late high school, early college. And some of the stuff, like, I think some of the stuff works, like working with the Raven. What's interesting too is this is a sign of like a younger cartoonist. It's like, oh man, backgrounds, never again. And you need a good pace. You do need a good pace. And for action, I get it, but it's just hilarious that it's like, that's enough of that. Like the lighting on this makes no sense. Dark, like it's weird because it's black on. Like this works here. It doesn't work in a lot of ways. Like great way with the shadow. Anything, I should just blacken that out. Then, yeah, my giant. Leave me alone, boy. Boy. Bad fight. You could tell what I wanted to draw. Like, this, but this, yeah. And just, oh man, look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that lettering right there. Look at that. That's some classy stuff. Oh, what's funny is like I wanted the uber violence, but then it's still kind of cartoony. Because, like, he just took a blade, he should be sniff. Like, are you kidding me? God, I would do a lot of things differently. That's him pulling out a knife. That literally took me a second, even though I drew it. So, this is my character, the Black Death. Another thing, like, this is another thing I no longer do. Like, one, these inset panels, don't do that. But two, I never finish a scene and start a scene on the same page now. Uh, I I just always like current me always finds this kind of weird because it feels like it's lessening like this scene. But we go into a nice double page spread. Character Nikki Ox, Grandma. Oh, so yeah, we're about to show Grandma Mama Al. I was like, Grandma Ben. So I just discovered Bone, and it shows. I just discovered Bone. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know. This was from me listening to Dropkick Murphys. That character. Basically, I mean, it's them basically kind of showing off the town. Normal night. Nikki. This is a story like part of me always wanted to go back to, and part of me is like, oof. Odin. I do like that Odin design though. Visit Savant returns his knife. And man, what's crazy is Bang's bracers are like her bracers are yeah modified design of that like 100%. Um, so basically it's just like a chill night. Them having fun with Nikki. She is very protective of Nikki. Isn't that kind of girl? Second, you can have a nice girl like her if you learn some manners. Al, third off, he's your cousin. You should be happy for him. Basically, like, hey, don't steal Ox's girl. Which, to this day, it always kind of bothered me with so many books. Like, you always stole my girl. It's like, come on, someone. Okay, this is where it gets fun. Forsaken all hope. Tonight. So when I say I can't draw like stormtroopers, this is where it started with the orcs. Oh my gosh, the orcs. And like I go hard like that what? I don't know why this little girl's playing in the middle of the night. We don't question that, but the axe reflection. I do like this showing like them. And I don't do that often. That's so I need to do that more. But man, look at this motley crew. Well, what's interesting is I have the bar closed, but then like everyone else is kind of up, so that makes no sense. This one, man, this one I went hard on. Yeah, probably not the best phrasing, but yeah, like kind of boring repetitive scene. I do love this. They just kidnap him. Please give him back my husband. We were only married a season ago. Ah, since he said the magic word, enjoy. What? No, no, please, no, just throwing a decapitated head, because this guy was based off of Blanca. That I remember. So they're pretty much kidnapping the women. This like this was not a bad way to do this. I won't lie. I said like I don't like this breaking into this, but this was not a bad way. Once again, Bone. Yeah, her father. Yeah, this would have been nice if we introduced the father beforehand. So Nikki goes off. Savant, I hear some unusual noises this night. Screams and the sounds of fires in the air. But they could have been simple fire or a giant walking too close to the village. No, that's not what has me up. The sound of the orcs' war drums has me up. Oh my gosh. I really don't know why, but I decided to suit up. I could care less about the villagers. Just the idea of orcs. It had to be orcs. I hate orcs. Yeah, this was. Look at that double page spread. Yeah, look at that. That is. I was so proud of it. Like inking this. Whoo. This is like I won't lie. It's easy to look back on this kind of joke. Like it's like oh my gosh, I can't believe I was this. But it's like there were a lot of good ideas here. And I do love what the orcs like having different like some are older, some are younger. This was actually not a bad way to do a page layout. The problem is just like once again, I also discovered Sin City at this point. Oh man. Also, what's interesting, like a little bit of print error there. But yeah, he stabs one of the guys. Orcs have black blood, and they attack. One thing I will give past self this, like I said, I made my characters unique and interesting. Also, man, it's like I would never break panel borders now. And I think it's like, a lot of people I always get like, on that, you know what? Past me did good job. Dark Knight Strikes Again. But Past Me did a good job on this fight scenes. I think this is where like this walks so Bang could run, honestly. But yeah, he fights the orcs. Basically, I don't think I showed it. No, I haven't showed it off yet. So we'll talk about it later. Man, so many caption boxes. Coheed and Cambrio. I forget where this guy was designed from. This was a break in an issue. Yeah, it's like I don't know if I would do that again. Like it's not a bad way to do it. Odin talking to his ravens, the women hiding in the forest. He changes into an old man. I do like the idea because, like in original Norse mythology, he would always be a shapeshifter, change into things. Um, and I like the idea. It's like he's always missing like an eye. It's like that's how you can kind of tell it's Odin. The mayor. I do love how I just basically like murdered the menfolk, kidnapped the women, but it's like yeah, the menfolk get murdered. So we're at the bar. Ox is outside because Ox is a Ox is a champ. Also, that was all me, but that's still a cool panel. I'm not gonna lie. Took a lot of work. I shouldn't like even like I said. This is where I walked a lot so I could run later. This was ridiculous. So, like I said, a huge fan of Grandma Ben. This is her husband's old war axe, and yeah, she just figures out, oh, yeah, I can punch this. This is still not a bad idea with the metal cuffs. I will say that. So it's like you got him with the knife, her with the metal cuffs. Some cool, like I said, some cool. You know what I would have done? So current me, okay. So I have him on this angle. It's like I would have put him over here and Ben over here, like because yeah, it's like we did 180, but I like this. They are taking down Ox. Oh yeah, Freakazoid. This like not a bad way to do a panel. The bloody chain, the two knives. Japanese. Yeah. Snake Plissken, 100%. So his sword, like, I had this idea. I guess kind of like a lightsaber. Like instead of like a fire blade, it was actually like this giant sword came out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, this one took me forever, but it was like so happy with this. Oh, like I said, the orcs cannon fire just murder, 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 murder. And what's interesting is it's like this looks a lot more confident than this. And the problem with drawing like all these, oh, I forgot about this. Oh, wait a minute. So the problem with drawing all these different orcs, keeping them in track. So monster, I am the monster, and I am the one killing children and capturing the women. You're just beasts to us. We take what we can, then sell you to pay off for our children. And just open your mouth. What? Open it. If I were a soulless monster, I would do this. I hate doing this, but it takes the fight out of them fast. Oh, rips. I mean, like, a little bit of foreshadowing there. A little bit of foreshadowing. So basically, he's left alone. Archer's figured out, like, hey, old man's like, hey, let's show, take a fight out. Shoots her. Not like a bad way. Like, with the captions, not a bad way. Like I said, not some bad, like, there's some good things here. He gets shot in the back. This was a big mistake by me. Why? Because I had to draw these arrows in the back of him all the time. And you wouldn't think it's a lot, but it ends up being a lot. The negative. That's a cool. Oof. Past me did some cool stuff. So basically, the way I laid the village out, like this was the main bar, and then it's like just X amount of houses around. Like it was like have that one iconography, and then the rest, like yeah, whatever. Space Ghost. Arrows on fire, pulls it out like a champ. Get a cool shot of him. They're freaking out. It's his turn. Oof. I swear this was from Desperado. I think it was. Perspective's off a little bit too. Oh, I wonder where he was based off of. Oh my gosh. So the crows, the orcs have Nikki. He's ignoring, like Savant's ignoring everything, and he's going up for revenge. He's coming. Run, Phil, run. Too late for that, Phil. Now it's my turn. I took my time. It was slow and obscene. Um, that was Dropkick Murphy's Fields of France. Was it clean and quick, or was it slow obscene? That was a lot. Yeah. Like I said, man, I know like current me would like just compress that down. Basically, he can tell he's undead. Like, according to the gods, I'm going to be rewarded in Valhalla. You will not. What? That's a shovel. I don't know what I was drawing. This little guy again. He actually gets killed. Holding you coward. So main guy, I forget who he was. This was Hellboy. That was the goon, and that is Frankie. Like, like, I'll add a third one. No one will tell. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm having too much fun reliving this. This this is interesting too because I use this and hey, hey. If only we could show off that moment, right? Let's see what a couple thousand lines in a decade does. So there it is in Bang. Some point I should do an overview of this, but yeah. And it's the kind of thing. It's like I did like I did a lot of series in between these, and you just what's kind of crazy is you have the same ideas, and it's like I can't, I did that, then I look back at this like years later, I was like, oh, I did that again. Conan, Spider Man, I want to say Mortal Kombat, World of Warcraft. Ooh, I forget. Trigun. That one's definitely Trigun. Venture. Oh yeah, that's Venture Brothers. Was Icarus. Panic at the Disco. World of Warcraft. Bag on his head. No idea. Spartan. Yeah, I don't know where these like that one I recognize, but I don't remember. So yeah. Then our main dude. He's good. Our man is good at throwing knives. First long panel ever. Yeah, it's been rarity. I do love shots like this where it's just like the shadows. Whatever, move out. So most of the village is saved. All is good. Hey, where are the women folk? Where's Gina? Where's this? Where's that? All right. Where was it? Where was Space Ghost? Is that all the way back? No, that where were you? You were come on. Ah, this guy got away with some cargo. Ha ha. To save your daughters. Look at that, just taken to the trees. New issue. Yes, I did this sin of not breaking up issues. I was that monster. So he's got arrows in his back, arrow to the eye, knife to the chin. This guy's whole ordeal, he keeps calling him, like he keeps saying he's immortal. He really isn't. The day is saved. There's the mayor. That like I like the idea of this. Not the best execution. It's basically him pulling out the knife, but it's like you can't tell. It's hard to see what's going on. Like I said, I like the nine. I like this grid for this kind of reaction, but like past me This worked out better in my head. And that, you know what? This is kind of where the joy of doing comics, continuing to do comics, and kind of looking back where it's like, hey, I now have the knowledge and the eye to say why this didn't work. Because even like, okay, let's take like this panel. Um, Everything's kind of in the middle grounds. Like you don't have any foreground, you don't really have a background. Everything's so tight. Like, okay, I know these are roofs, but that's because that's just my drawing style, you know. And it's like we didn't have a shot of like this coming back, like him driving in. Everyone's kind of excited because it's like I would have dedicated a page or so, like them worried. It's like, are the orcs returning? Like, are they safe? Um, this was Boondocks with Booty Butt. Yeah, that character. And the other thing with the arrows, it's the straight lines because it was me with the like I did this all traditionally. I still have the traditional paint. Like, well, I might pull those out and look at this. Whew. Like it doesn't have the sound effects or the wording. Him looking serious. This is me trying to show him looking serious. Like that didn't work. That was rough. Don't don't do that, kids. Don't do that. I do like her reactions with some of this stuff. So he like it's not clear. There's bandages on his mouth right there. His eyes are glowing. Basically, praise Odin. He's like, curse Odin. No, speaking of which, you want to see what Odin did? Oh no, this I still think Past Me did good on this. So this old man's like thinking, back in my day, and oh dear. So part of like Odin, part of the Norse gifts, you have to give up part of you. Odin gave up his eye, so he took off his lower jaw. Hence why like, doo, doo, doo. Yeah. Hence why this moment was for like look at Past Me foreshadowing. Woo. Woo! And I think that's where some of the fun of foreshadow, like I use foreshadowing all. Secret to Bang, I foreshadow a lot of stuff. You all just haven't picked up on it. So he gets scared to death. The problem is in Norse mythology, if you die by like illness or fear, like a fear, you go to hell. So his this still kind of clever. He had a weapon in hand, died by an arrow, so he gets to go to Valhalla. Okay, this is a mixture of spawns like Angela, uh, the original Hellboy design, and I forget the other thing. I want to say like some JRPG for them. Now, this is where that's you know what that's not a bad panel. I would do something similar to this day. This though, clink, man, I love this. Oh yeah, I didn't clean that up, but clink, clink. Now we're showing Hell, Motorhead. I forget the other one, and the Priest of Hell. Oh, this one of my coolest designs. So the Priest of Hell was like basically like a giant snake, giant arms, but then had like a deer skull. Like it would have some kind of skull from an animal. And they were there to gather all the men. I guess you could argue it's like they were fighting, but it's like a lot of them died. Like Leon, I believe it's Leon. Like technically Leon here, did he die in battle or not? Because it's like, hard to say. But yeah, like this is part of Odin's gift. He can see hell, they can't. So he retreats back to his cabin. Nikki's there. And this I wanted to show like they weren't romantically involved, but it's like he's up in a cave, like, it's winter. It's like, all right, keep warm. I would do this slightly different. All of a sudden there's a snake, crushes it, turns into a spider, turns into Loki. I had such plans for this book. Oh, yeah, here's the original drawings. So originally, I grew up Mormon. I'm no longer practicing, but I believe this was like originally was going to be like the Moroni. Maybe like I think it was like loosely based off Cap Moroni. But anyway, turned into its own thing with Norse mythology. That's a Zerg. That's 100% Zerg. And yeah, here are the sketches, which Yeah, it's like I don't think I ever did that cool thing with the pigs. Yeah, those them like that was actually cooler than when I produced. Yeah, that was the finish. That was cooler. Oh, so yeah, a lot of fun. Oh man, 100% the goon. Like 100%. That's the goon and buzzer. I think I owe Eric. If I made money off this, I would owe Eric Palachek. This was me inking with different materials, but yeah, Servant. Um, that was my original book. So current one, color, doing a little better nowadays, I would say. But yeah, um, any art, anything you produce, keep multiple copies. You'll never know how many you have. Two, it's fun to go back. It's fun to look at like what past you did. I mean, even and this would be a good time editing, Josh. Show the newest cover. Like I took inspiration from this and made a cover from like for chapter 23 for Bang. So like I said, it's interesting because it's like this walked so Bang could run. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this like look down memory lane for me. So anyway, I don't think you can buy this anywhere. I gotta double check on that. Um, I might try to put up a P. I don't know. Like I said, this was so rough, so rough. Oh, yeah. Oh. Anyway, y'all, take it easy. So quick thing, I forgot I had these images. I just want to show off the back cover. This was an ink sketch I did. Yeah, this was all ink. It's like me playing around with, hence like the bright yellow, the reds, and then we got this cover here. I still think it's actually a pretty good like cover. A little bit mysterious, not 1 and 2. Shows off the logo a little bit better, easy to read. Red sky, always a classic. And I'm gonna regret this because it's the internet, and I like this was buried. Oh, look at that! Look at this, Ms. Oh my gosh, Midgar Mail. Look, welcome to my world. Whoa, whoa, I was a teenager in the early aughts. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, if you stuck around, enjoy that moment. Oh, that's painful to look at. Yeah, that was. I am 90% sure that was college, but yeah, thanks, y'all.